Hello, everyone. Good evening. Testing, testing. 1, 2. Okay, can you hear me? Answers in the comments. Is the microphone working? Testing, testing. 1, 2. Welcome from Manila, Philippines. Live streaming to your personal computers. Can you hear me? Testing, testing. Answers in the comments. Yes, says Vivara. Yes to what? Yes, you can hear me? Good. Okay, welcome to everyone. If you want to come on stage, let me know. I will give you the backstage link for your computer. I already have one backstage guest waiting to come on to say hello to you all. That is Vivara. Okay, so you can just play along in the comments as usual if you don't want to come on stage. I will do as usual a quick introduction to IELTS, all the IELTS exams, skills. Then we will do a speaking test. Okay, just sending, make sure everything's working. Let's just have a quick look at my classroom. Is my classroom ready? Here it is. Yeah, so get off. Okay, Vivara is knocking on the door. Let's just send a link to a student here. Whoops. What is going on with my computer? So we will copy that, put it here, send the link. Send the link to a student. Okay, Vivara, are you ready to come on stage? Say hello to everyone tonight. Vivara, answer in the comments, please. Yes, let's have on Vivara. Hello, Vivara, the unicorn.
Hello.
How are you today? How are you?
Good. Good.
Good. Nice to see you. What have you been doing today?
Well, I have been practicing IELTS.
That is good. So you've just started looking at IELTS this week, just for a bit of fun, just IELTS speak.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're a bit younger than most people who do IELTS. Most people who do it to get into universities, but you thought you would have a look at it. Let's go into my classroom, see if we can remember what IELTS is. Okay, can you see anyone in the chat, Vivara? Is anyone here to say hello to us? No one in the chat yet. Only CBE English tuition.
Me.
Is my sound okay?
No,
you are freezing a bit because.
No, it's you who.
It's what?
You are freezing. You're freeze right now. Well, your sound is ripping. It's bad.
Well, it depends. So yeah, I freeze for you and you freeze for me.
Oh.
Yeah, so I told everyone, unfortunately, I have a problem here. I cannot. I had good internet in my house, but it went. So this is the backup. So that's unfortunate. Okay, we have another student here. Let's just have a look at the IELTS test. Can you hear me now, Vivara?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, where are we? Here's my classroom. Okay, and here is the IELTS test here. Okay, can you see in the classroom?
Yes.
Can you see my classroom? Yeah, so it's just all the different questions. You can do the first one for us. Okay, I'll just introduce myself. So my name is Chris, English teacher from England. I teach general English and exam preparation like IELTS and Cambridge. If you're interested, there's my YouTube channel. I have a few little interesting things. IELTS. What is IELTS? IELTS. Can you remember now, Varvara?
IELTS is an international English language testing system.
Yeah, let's see if you're correct. Computer, is Varvara correct? Let's find out. Yes, not international, international. International English language testing system. Okay, we have a knock on the door. Do you know who's knocking, Varvara? Is it Mr. Wolf? Let's answer the door. Behind the door, there was someone who's disappeared. What happened to student Mega? I saw you waiting in the waiting room, but now you've disappeared. Mega, if you're ready, please come back. Varvara, can you see how many people are watching the stream? Do you see the number?
Let me see.
There's a picture of an eye. Do you see it? Well, I see a picture. Last time I had just one person, so that's not very good. Let's get some more people watching. Okay, so Mega was going to come on stage, but she disappeared. So we'll just carry on. If people don't watch us now, they can watch us later, maybe. So let's turn the page of my PowerPoint. Do you remember the next question? Can't remember. Score. Scoring system. What's the scoring system? Can you tell everyone?
It is from 0 to 9. Most people will scores from 6 to 9.
Good. And what do people do it for?
To get a job in an English-speaking country, get a certificate with their English level, and go to university.
Certificate. Yes. So yeah, one of those things. Or it could be all of those things. So usually an English university in an English language country, or it could be just an English language course in a different country. There we go. That's all the answers. What are the different kinds of IELTS? I don't know if I did this with you. Did we talk about this?
Yes, we did. Well, the different different kinds of IELTS is listening, reading, writing, and speaking.
That's not the different kinds of IELTS tests. That's the different skills. This is. I don't know if we talked about this. This is general IELTS and academic IELTS. Did I talk about this with you?
No.
Yeah. So academic is the one that you do. Is the harder one. General is just for people who want maybe a visa often. Academic and the reading and writing are more difficult. What is the format of the IELTS exam? I think this is the question you wanted to answer.
It is listening, reading, writing, and speaking.
Yeah, good. How many parts for each? Can you remember?
Well, 2 parts.
No, it's different for all of the skills, I'm afraid. 3 parts speaking, 4 parts listening, 3 parts reading, and 2 parts writing. Listening is a mixture of monologues and dialogues, 45 minutes. There's part 1 paper. Reading, 3 texts, about 40 questions. Example paper. Writing, 2 essays, diagram description, opinion. Marking criteria. Do you remember what the examiner is listening for, Varvara?
The examiner is listening for let me think. Well, it is marking stereo, fluency and conference, lexical resource, grammatical range, and accessory and pronunciation.
Good. Where did you get that from? Are you reading it from someone? Somewhere?
Um, no, I'm just trying to remember it.
You remember all of that?
Well,
Okay, that's good. Yeah, fluent, if possible. Coherent. So coherence, that means what you say makes sense. One
your sound is ripping. I don't.
sentence is connected to the next logic.
Oh,
So in cutting, I'm cutting, am I? Yeah, there's a
yes.
problem. I don't know how to turn off the video with live streams. Can I turn my video off? Let me check. No, I can't turn my video off. Can you turn your video off?
What do you mean?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, but
So when we have a class, when we have a class, you can turn your video off, yes? But when
yeah.
I do this, I can't turn my video off because video off will make the sound better. So Daisy is here. Do you remember Daisy?
Well,
Uh,
a little bit.
Daisy says hello. Yeah, she is usually in the audience, not usually on stage. So I think Daisy is from, if I remember correctly, Angola. So we're just finishing the introduction before we get on to the test. Where was I? Yes, grammatical range. So yeah, instead of big, what can I say, Vavara? A more interesting word?
Huge.
Yeah, good.
Enormous.
Grammatical range and accuracy. Okay, so I say my name are Chris. Is that good grammar?
No, you are using the irregular verb in the wrong time.
The wrong person. The
Yes.
tense was correct. The verb was correct. The grammar person was incorrect. Okay, what is an example of a difficult verb tense I can use to make the examiner happy? Can you tell me, Vavara? Do you remember all the tenses we studied? What's a really difficult one?
The future perfect continuous.
Good. So you don't have to use it for every question, but if you can use something like that, the examiner will notice and they'll be happy. So what was I going to say? Yeah. What is the problem here, Vavara? I say moonum is cruise. Okay. What's the problem with my English there?
Your pronunciation is wrong.
Yeah, so be careful with the sound of your English. So the individual sounds, the phonemes, also the stress, the intonation. You don't want to sound like a robot. Hello, my name is Chris. So yeah, the intonation, that's the music of your voice is important also. I believe we're ready to start. So who is going to be my guinea pig? Do you know what that means, Vavara, a guinea pig?
Yes, it's a kind of.
What is a guinea pig?
It's a kind of hamster.
Yeah, well, it's similar to a hamster. It's not the same. It's a little furry animal which people like to keep as pets. But also, it means somebody who is used as an experiment. So we can have somebody in this class used as an experiment. They can be my guinea pig. Are you ready to be my guinea pig?
Yes.
Don't worry. Like an original guinea pig, you will not get hurt. So this is IELTS, an IELTS speaking test. And we have to be honest, Vivara and I, we practiced this a little bit in the lessons. So you're good because this is your first time. Okay, anyone else wants to join in the test, send me a message. We want test takers. Okay, so we're going to start from the beginning. So can you remind everyone, what is part 1?
Well, part 1 is simple questions. Part 2 is more difficult. And part 3 is hard.
Yeah, what kind of simple questions? What are they about? Are they about bananas?
No, they are about international food.
Well, no, that's just this example. I mean, so they're personal questions. So they'll be about subjects, for example, family. What's the other one? Family, work, interests, stuff like that. Okay, so what's the formula for giving a good answer, Vivara? What must we do?
Well, we need to have marking exterior, fluency or concurrence, lexical resource, grammatical range, and accessory and pronunciation.
Yeah, but what's the number one thing?
Well, pronunciation.
The number one thing actually is answer the question. So students are worrying, oh yeah, I must use wonderful English. Is true, but also you must answer the question. Okay. So answer the question, and after you've answered the question, what must you do?
You must give details and examples.
Yeah, anything else? Yeah, good. I would say usually it depends on the question, but usually answer the question, give a reason, give details, and details can include examples. How long is a good answer length?
Well,
10 minutes?
no, it is 20
4
seconds.
hours? Yeah,
20
we think 20 seconds. It's quite hard, especially if you've got lots of things to say, to get all of that into 20 seconds. But after that, it starts to get a bit long, a bit of a speech. So try and keep it short if you can. So what is our example? What's our first part 1 topic today?
International food.
Yes, remember it's not international. What's the pronunciation?
International.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. I will be the examiner now. I will not be Chris, I will be someone else. Okay. Good evening. My name is Barry Badgerton. I will be your examiner today. Can I take your name, please?
My name is Varvara.
Okay, Vivara. So now we're doing your IELTS speaking exam, and we are going to start with part 1. And these are simple personal questions. So, give an answer of about 20 seconds. Remember, always answer the question, give a reason, details. It's a good opportunity here to demonstrate the different tenses, okay, because the questions aren't too difficult. So you can maybe answer with one tense and then give details with another. My first question, can you find food from many different countries where you live?
No, because Russia has a lot of good food. Like a chicken dish, which is a bit spicy. But at some restaurants you can find international food. For example, French fries and burgers.
Okay. Just writing down your answer. Yeah. So you answered the question. That was good. You gave a reason. You said no. Your country has lots of good food already. You gave an example. You have a special spicy chicken dish. What's the name? You told me that the other day. What's the spicy chicken dish called?
Котлеты.
Yeah, that one, exactly. Okay, and then you said you gave extra details. But some places you can find foreign food, and some restaurants do French fries, for example. Okay, yeah, good pronunciation, good fluency. The English was accurate. I don't think there were any mistakes. It was quite simple, but it was accurate. That's the main thing. Okay, if you want to, you can write some answers in the comments. That's a funny comment. Daisy has put dot. What's that dot for?
I don't know.
Okay, number 2. How often do you eat typical food from other countries? Why or why not?
I rarely eat food from other countries because Russia has a lot of good food which I like. For example, shashlik, which is a Russian special meat which is made on a fire outside.
Good. So you answered the question. And yeah, you said rarely, so not very often do you eat foreign food, and you gave a reason because your own country has good food, and you gave an example. Shashlik. What is shashlik?
Well, it is a special meat which is made on a fire outside.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to what we call kebab in England. It's just usually you have it on a stick with big lumps of meat, and you'll cook it on a kind of barbecue thing. Because we don't really use that word in England, shashlik. Well, I haven't heard it. Let's. Yeah, fluency was okay. Accuracy was okay. Pronunciation was okay. Have you ever tried making food from another country? Why or why not?
I have not, because lots of international food is made in different kinds of ways, and in my house we do not have much cooking equipment. For example, some international food like French fries need a special dipper, deep fat fryer to make them.
Mm. Good. So you answered the question, and you said no. You've never tried making food from another country. You gave a reason. You said yeah, you need different special equipment, and an example was it French fries again? I
Yes.
think you like French fries. Yeah, I mean to make them properly, like they do in McDonald's, you need something. I think it's called deep fat fryer. It's like a big pan you hold like this,
Yes,
and
I
you
know
put it
that.
into. I know. I'm not just telling you. I'm making sure that everyone knows the words. I know that you know. We talked about this, didn't we? Okay, so you gave an example. Good English, good pronunciation. What shall we do? Shall we move? Okay, we do. Yeah, we've got time for one more. What food from your country would you recommend to people from other countries, and why?
I do not recommend anyone about food, but if I would recommend a special Russian dish, which is called butterbrot, a kind of sandwich which is made from one piece of bread with some salad and eggs on it. I would recommend that because it is very tasty.
Yeah, good. So you gave answer the question. You said you wouldn't recommend something, but then you did recommend something, and then you said, but it was butterbrot. Sounds like butter bread. And this is Russian. It's a strange sounding thing. A bit of bread with lettuce on it. That doesn't sound very exciting, but you said
Well,
it's
no,
nice, is it?
well, it is salad and eggs in.
Okay, that sounds a bit better. And what else did you say? Yeah, you used some food vocabulary, for example. What did you say? Tasty. Yeah, so try and use specialist vocabulary here, food vocabulary. Do you know any other food vocabulary you can use?
Dish, spicy, tasty, salty. Um,
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, flavors: salty, spicy, sour. Cooking methods, for example, fry, grill, bake, roast. Cuisine is a good word, and then the types of cuisine. That means the type of food from different countries. Yeah, different types of course. That means like starter, the first thing that you have, main course, the middle thing, and then dessert. All of these things try and use to make the examiner happy. Now we will move on to part 2. What is part 2?
The part 2 is to describe law that was introduced in your country and that you thought was a very good idea.
Yeah, that is this time, but I mean in general, what is part 2? What kind of task? What kind of task is part 2?
It is harder.
Do you remember what we call it? So first one was a dialogue, interviewer and interviewee speaking. Is this a dialogue? No, it's not a dialogue. It's a monologue. It's one person speaking. It's called a speech, sometimes called the long term. So you'll get 1 minute to prepare with your tools, pen, paper, timer, and then 2 minutes to talk. After that, there will be some questions. Okay, are you ready to do the task, Vivara?
Yes.
So I will read out the instructions. Then I know we practiced for this before because it's your first time, but we will do it as if it's the test. So I will read everything out. Can you show me your pen and paper ready?
Oh, well.
Where is your pen and paper?
Yes, 1 minute. Here.
Okay, and then can you show me your timer? Do you have a timer?
Yes. 1 minute.
Good. Why do we need a timer?
Well, so we don't cheat and do it too long.
Well, yeah, too long is not really cheating. Yeah, it's true. Well, yeah, you'll get in trouble. So, because this is important to get your timing good. So you get your structure right. So you know how. I'm sorry?
1 minute? Yes.
Well, not yet. I haven't started everything off yet. So it's important to know how long to talk for each section. Okay, so let's start part 2. I would like you to describe a law that was introduced in your country and that you thought was a very good idea. You should say what the law was, who introduced it, when and why it was introduced, and explain why you thought this was such a good idea. So let's start the clock. 1 minute preparation time. Please write down your notes. My timer is going. Tick, tick, tick. Can you hear the tick-tock?
Yes.
Okay, 10 more seconds. Okay, before you start, I will read out the instructions again and I will give everyone some tips to give a good presentation. Okay, so I would like you to describe a law that was introduced in your country that you thought was a very good idea. You should say what the law was, who introduced it, when and why it was introduced, and explain why you thought this law was such a good idea. So I recommend you do a quick introduction, 10 seconds, so you say everything. I'm going to talk about this, the topic, and then the subtopics, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then roughly about 20 seconds for each question. It's not exact because some questions are shorter, okay? And then, so that should be about 110 seconds, and then another 15 seconds maybe on your finish. So you just say everything again. So I talked about this, subtopic 1, subtopic 2. So that should be roughly 2 minutes. Try and get to 2 minutes. Okay, so are you ready now?
Yes.
Yeah, I will do this. What does this symbol mean?
The time's up.
Time's up. You're using too much time, or you're running out of time. And what does this symbol mean?
Go on.
Yeah, maybe if it's like 1 minute 30 and you're talking about question number one, I'll go like this. Move on, move on. You have to move on to the next thing. So time problem and move on to the next topic. Okay, shall we go? IELTS is so intense, says Daisy. Okay, when you're ready, please start, Bavara.
I'm going to describe a law that was introduced in my country and that I thought was a very good idea. I should say what the law was, who introduced it, when and why it was introduced, and why I thought this was such a good idea. The law was no more pigeon feeding at parks, schools, and on balconies. It was introduced by the government of Russia a month ago, and because the pigeons fly to eat the food, they spread bacteria, making people sick, and spreading the bacteria onto the plants too. I think that this is a good idea because there will be less people which are sick.
You finished?
Well, quite.
Sorry, are you finished?
Well, yes.
Okay, are you happy with that?
Well, it was less than 2 minutes.
It was a little bit short. What is the main reason it was a little bit short?
Well, I don't know.
Well, you didn't do a finish, did you? No. So remember your beginning, the finish looks like that, but you can use slightly different words. So that was it. I told you about a law that was introduced in my country, which I really liked. And then you can add the actual information, the no feeding the pigeon rule. I said what it was about not feeding pigeons. I told you who introduced it, the government. And we talked about why it was introduced to stop disease spreading and why I thought it was a great idea. Hope you enjoyed my presentation. Remember, don't feed those pigeons. That's just an idea because it was a little bit short. To be honest, it was a difficult presentation though, wasn't it?
Can I try again?
You want to try again? So where could you make it longer? Which parts of the presentation could you make a bit longer?
Well, the ending.
Yeah, but you could have added other bits. What the law was, you can make that a bit longer because I know who introduced it is not a very open question, is it? That's one of the reasons why this is quite difficult.
Well, I don't know who.
So I think what you just have to make everything a bit longer. So you have to make number one a bit longer. What the law was. Sorry, let me get into my classroom. Where's my pen? Make this a bit longer, a bit more detail. This you can make why it was introduced. You can give more information, and then finish. You had no finish, but so why you thought it was a good idea. Maybe you can talk about your personal experience, and then finish can give you an extra 15 seconds. How long did you talk for?
I don't know.
It was only about 1 minute 5. Okay, were you looking at your timer?
Well, yes.
Yeah, so imagine this is your presentation. You've got to stretch it out a bit, yeah? Just talk about everything a bit longer. I can do this, maybe stretch. Let's try one more time. Let me get my water ready. Okay, Vivara, I would like you to talk about a law that was introduced in your country and that you thought was a very good idea. You should say what the law was, who introduced it, when and why it was introduced, and explain why you thought this law was such a good idea. Remember to talk about all parts of the question. Remember your introduction, and remember to finish. Are you ready?
Yes.
Try and talk for 2 minutes.
I am going to describe a law that was introduced in my country and that I thought was a very good idea. I should say what the law was, who introduced it, when and why it was introduced, and explain why I thought this law was such a good idea. The law was no more pigeon feeding at parks, schools, balconies, and other places which do not have to be dirty. It was introduced by the government of Russia a month ago, and because when the pigeons fly to eat the food, they spread bacteria, making people sick and spreading the bacteria onto the plants too. And the pigeon droppings can make plants stop growing. I think that this is a good idea because there will be less people which are sick and less people will be hurt by the pigeons because I have told you about the no pigeon feeding law, and I have said what the law was, who introduced it, when why it was introduced, and why I thought this law was such a good idea.
Good. What did you think about that one? Was that
Well-
were you happier with that one?
Well, it's a little bit too long.
Bit too long. Why was that one a bit too long?
Well, because it was more I added too much stuff.
I'm not sure if you spoke too much. I just think maybe you spoke a bit slower. That might have been the problem this time. There was a little bit of hesitation, I noticed. It wasn't quite as well prepared as before, but the content was good. So yeah, if you're looking at your clock, you could see when you're running out of time, you finish, you get in one question, you go, right, you saw I was doing that. I was going, right, just move on to the next one. Because I got 2 minutes 25. It was a bit long. But it was good. You answered all of the questions very well. Your English was good. Good grammar, good lexis. A few small problems. Bacterias. Is that the correct plural of bacteria?
Bacteria.
No, the plural is bacteria. It's uncountable. It's not bacterias. Okay, so yes. A bit less hesitation, and you didn't have to say so much this time. So what's the next part of part 2?
Well, question.
Yeah, so now you have prepared your presentation, you've given the presentation, and now the examiner will ask you a question or two about your presentation. Okay, so you chose Vivara to talk about the no feeding the pigeon laws. That's an interesting choice, an unusual law to talk about. This is something close to your heart, maybe. Do you like pigeons?
No. I have set of this law because I did not like the pigeons flying right into your face while you are walking and the plants stop growing. As I said in the presentation, well, I like plants, but I do not like the pigeons hurting the plants.
Yeah, so the thing about laws, they usually can be good, effective if everybody follows the law. Did you notice everyone following the law? Did everyone stop feeding the pigeons or not?
No, they like the pigeons. They
They
are.
were. They didn't stop feeding them. They continued to feed them. So they continued. The pigeons continued to feed disease. So the law did not work. Is that correct?
Well, it did not work, but most people are starting to think about it, and there are less pigeon disease.
Oh, really? So it's working a little bit, but maybe not as well as it can do. Okay, so now let's move on to part 3. We didn't actually practice this. What is part 3? Can you remember?
It is, well, just discuss in stuff.
Yeah, it's a discussion question. So they're longer questions, they're more difficult. As we said before, a discussion is a bit like an argument, but you don't have to argue. It's not angry. Maybe you say what you think, I say what I think. We don't have to disagree. Longer answers give opinion vocabulary. Can you give me some opinion vocabulary? Do you know any opinion vocabulary?
I'm not sure.
Simple phrases like I think, or more difficult like in my opinion, in my view. Sometimes you might get a difficult question and you don't know what to say. So what do you say? That's an interesting question. Let me think about that. And while you're thinking, while you're speaking, your brain is thinking. Okay. So you might answer a question, and the examiner might ask you a question about your answer. So this is a long, difficult section. Okay, let's try. We might have time for one or two. So, Vavara, can you suggest? No, sorry. Let's talk about school rules. What kinds of rules are common in a school?
In common schools, there are rules like that children cannot use phones or calculators and any other stuff which can help them in the skills to answer the answers, to answer the questions.
Okay, those are just an example of two small rules. So those are like, I don't know, we could categorize those as technology rules. Any other kind of rules? What about if I started having a shashlik in the classroom?
Well, to talk about all that, we can use only one sentence. That it is when children are learning in the school, they need to concentrate on the skill and nothing else.
Yeah. So no, I mean some schools have that, not all of them. No phones in the classroom. I mean, you told me you go to some kind of independent academy thing. And I heard some schools in England, you must go into the school and give your phone to the teacher. Is that what you must do at your school?
No, that was not a school. That was, well, it was kind of a mini school just for 5 days of English. But the thing is that really nobody did anything there. They were all sitting and, well, it's a long story.
Okay, but did you do that rule with the phones where everyone had to give their
No,
phones to the teacher? You didn't do that. Okay, I've heard that's quite common in lots of schools in different countries now. Okay, yes. How important is it to have rules in a school? Or what do you think?
well, it is very important because if schools did not have any rules, children could just play video games right on the lesson.
Yeah, good. Sorry, I'm trying to think what that is. Yeah, so that's good. So they could, yeah, you could do anything that you wanted, and things could soon get out of control. Students would not be able to learn. Negative consequences might arrive. Okay, yeah. So you answered the question. You used an interesting structure there. Second conditional. We haven't talked about conditionals before. Do you know what the second conditional is, Vivara?
No, do not.
You said if there weren't any rules, students would not be able to learn. Is that what you said?
Well,
Yeah. So you haven't studied it, but you've just used it naturally. It's talking about imaginary or hypothetical situations. These are sentences which start with if. You have zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, third conditional, and mixed. We can study the more difficult one later, but the examiner will think, yeah, it's good. You used it correctly, I think. If the school didn't have any rules, can you finish the sentence?
if
If
the
the school
school did not have any rules, children will get out of control.
children would get out of control, yes. So that's correct use of the second conditional. Okay, I think we're going to have to stop there. That's the end of our IELTS speaking practice exam. Thank you to candidate Vivara. Vivara, can you just give us a quick summary of today's lesson? What did we do?
Today we did IELTS speaking, and we did part 1, part 2, and part 3.
Good. Before you did the practice exam, what did you do?
Or before the practice exam,
Yeah, what did we do? We did a quick
presentation.
We did a quick IELTS test just so that everyone knows the basics about the exam. So number one, did the IELTS test. Then we did a full 15-minute three-part exam. What is IELTS speaking part 1?
Not hard. Simple questions.
Simple personal questions. So what was part 2?
Part 2 was harder questions, and part 3 was very
Part
hard.
2, no, it wasn't. Part 2 wasn't harder questions. What was part 2?
Oh, part 2 was... It was the...
Was it like this or like this?
Oh, it was monologue.
Yeah, so it was like a speech or a presentation, wasn't it? In IELTS world, they call it the long term because you were speaking for a long time. And what was number 3, IELTS part 3?
It was... As part 3 was... was a discussion, a dialogue.
Yes, a discussion dialogue. Yeah, so discussion questions, more difficult questions with longer answers. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Thank you to everyone who came, Vivara and Daisy. I think is the only person in the comments. But I saw there were some other eyes looking at us. Did you see those other eyes looking at us, Vivara?
No.
Well, do you see the eye picture on the screen? The eye icon? That tells us how many people are watching. I saw there were 4 or even 5 people watching at some point. So we'll try and do the same again next week, 7 o'clock Beijing time, Thursday. I will put notifications on Hello Talk. I will also try and do other live streams, different topics like grammar, reading, listening, stuff like that. Please give me any ideas if you have any.
We can have a Red-Headed League book.
Yeah, that would be a good one. So Vivara is talking about a famous story by Conan Doyle, a Sherlock Holmes story. Reading, yeah, we studied that one in your lesson, didn't we?
Yes.
So I could get ChatGPT to help me make a presentation, or you could make one for me if you wanted to. Okay, let's go then. So everyone enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you all next time.
Yes.
I run out.
Thank you for the live stream.
A pleasure.
Yes.